Hi everyone, and welcome back to Deck Tech. This week we're revisiting a familiar friend and having another go at using Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX in the expanded format. So recently, viewer Hero Medley commented that I didn't actually cover the Melony build of Rapid Strike Urshifu in my recent Deck Boss series, which, yep, totally fair. It's a super popular build, and it got me thinking, yeah, okay, cool, let me give it a go. And after a bit of tinkering around, I ended up with this weird kind of Urshifu toolbox deck. The basic idea here is to give Urshifu VMAX the most options in any given turn, allowing us to either smash the active with Gale Thrust or spread heavy damage around with Gmax Rapid Flow. You won't always be in a situation where spamming Gmax Rapid Flow is the way to go, and since Expanded does have a number of bench barrier Pokemon, I wanted to ensure that Urshifu wasn't falling too far behind in situations where, you can't really snipe the bench. Korrina is the beating heart of this deck, allowing you to search out any fighting Pokemon and one item card. It's fantastic for establishing your board or fetching a number of combo pieces to solve a particularly tricky board state. Hitting one of these early on can potentially set you up for the rest of the game, and that's actually why I prioritized it over Melony in this particular build. That said, Melony is still a powerful card, and it's often the ace up your sleeve in this deck. This, alongside two basic water energies, ensures that you have access to Gmax Rapid Flow in a pinch. Ideally, what you want to do is discard this Melony and one or two of the water energy off of a battle compressor, giving you access to that combo later in the game, as long as you have a Versus Seeker in hand. Alongside Urshifu VMAX, we also play a pretty small 2-2 Octillery line. Octillery is great alongside our supporter package here to basically ensure that we could always fetch either a Rapid Strike Pokemon or, more often than not, the Rapid Strike energy that we'll need to pull off some of our big attacks. We play a nice damage buffing package here with Diancie Prism Star, Rapid Strike Passimian, and Strong Energy. These make your Gale Thrusts and Gmax Rapid Flows sting a lot more, in particular, helping you patch up the lackluster 120 that Gmax Rapid Flow does to the enemy active, potentially hitting upwards of 160 instead, which is a 2 KO on most relevant VMAXs. Or you could just smash someone in the face with a 190 damage Gale Thrust instead. Totally up to you. And we play a random Landorus-EX here, mostly to get around certain invincible Pokemon, but also to let us do respectable chip damage across the board, potentially securing multi-KOs for Urshifu. And Bat, Rat, and Lele are of course the holy trinity of support Pokemon, and the nice thing here is that you can often get easy access to them off of Korrina by grabbing a Quick Ball or an Ultra Ball alongside the fighting Pokemon you're already grabbing. Acerola is a really nice supporter since it allows us to scoop up a damaged Urshifu VMAX and potentially bring in a new one to smash something with Gale Thrust. Guzma gives us a pretty easy route to a full power Gale Thrust as well, or you could use it to strand something in the active to set up a pretty devastating Gmax Rapid Flow chain later on. You could also do the same thing with Escape Rope, which we also play here, depending on what your opponent throws up, and you can actually combo these two cards together to kind of play mind games with your opponent and shuffle the board around as necessary. Max Potion is one of my favorite inclusions here, allowing us to completely heal a damaged Urshifu VMAX. It's fetchable by Korrina, which is a plus, and it's really nice to use after a Gmax Rapid Flow has already discarded all of your energy. Likewise, Scoop Up Cyclone provides a way to remove a damaged Urshifu from the board, but it's also useful in a pinch for resetting Bat, Rat, and Lele. And the fact that you can grab this with Korrina is kind of nuts. Tower of Waters is here to provide a bit more mobility, mostly to help chain Gale Thrusts together, but it's nice for evacuating awkward active Pokemon as well. And we pair that with two Float Stones to give all of our non-Rapid Strike Pokemon some mobility as well. I think you could arguably cut one of these to add in a special charge, but so far I do find that this count works well with the number of non-Rapid Strike Pokemon that we have in deck. And finally, we've got a full set of Rapid Strike energy because, obviously we do, and I've thrown in one basic fighting energy just to help you get around awkward stuff like Aegislash EX, for example. It's also a nice inclusion since most of the energy removal in Expanded targets special energy, so between this and potentially your basic water energy, you can often guarantee your follow-up Rapid Strike energy attachment for a Gmax Rapid Flow, since there aren't that many ways to remove your basic energy on the opponent's turn. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the deck. Korrina gets you set up and fetches a band-aid for almost any situation, while Melony offers you a sudden burst of speed to potentially wipe the opponent's board. I really love this list's flexibility, and I think as long as you can dodge special energy hate and psychic types, it can handle just about anything. Now, with all that out of the way, let's surge onto the expanded ladder and see how this deck runs. Okay, so heading into this match, I see a metal deck box, which is never fun, because, you know, there's nothing quite as sad as having your Gmax Rapid Flow reduced to like 60 damage by a combination of metal goggles and full metal wall. So, you know, I'm already a little antsy going into this one, and the starting hand is interesting. At least I've got the Holy Trinity in hand, so even if I maybe have to discard some stuff I don't want to, I can probably get set up. And looking at what we're coming up against, I do see a Zacian, so either this is going to be some kind of Zacian Zamazenta deck, it might be Luke Metal, it still could be ADP. So, you know, I'm going to take things pretty easily here. I'm going to try not to overextend too much, just make sure that I have my Remoraid there in the active, get the Urshifu going, and I am just going to draw a few cards to try and hit the second Urshifu, which I thankfully do. Now, most Zacian builds won't be able to get the turn 1 attack off unless they get really lucky with a combination of Metal Saucers and Max Elixirs. So, you know, there's a good chance that my Remoraid will survive here and allow me to eventually evolve it into an Octillery and then really set the pace of the game as much as I'd like. Now, seeing the, I believe it's the Coating Metal energy there, I was a little suspicious because that's usually a sign that it's Luke Metal. They like to avoid the potential fire weakness. But, you know, the Guzma there is pretty aggro as well, so we'll see what's up. And they only hit the 1 energy off of the Intrepid Sword, but that doesn't really matter too much because the manual attachment will definitely get them set up on their turn. Now, for my part, since my board is untouched, I have a little bit of room to go for more setup, so I will grab the Korrina here. What I'd really like to do, of course, is get a second Urshifu VMAX in play, or potentially the Diancie. And I think that's probably the way to go, just to provide a bit more pressure here to the Zacian in the active. But it looks like I might actually grab the backup VMAX instead, just to take the KO off the board. And then I grab the Floatstone as well. You can't grab Tower of Waters, unfortunately, but you know, this will do as well to help me get off a nice fat Gale Thrust. So I'll attach the bench Urshifu, get the Floatstone on there, and then I'm just going to retreat in. I did think about DAA changing here, but I actually want to hold on to that Acerola, just so I can, you know, deny the 230 damage that's incoming here, and then just, you know, loop another Gale Thrust to hopefully KO this active Zacian. Now my opponent's going to go for the Max Elixir, so they're going to start setting up their benched Zacian as well. And this is one of the things that's making me think, okay, yeah, this is Turbo Zacian here, because they're just going to really go ham here. They'll have that next one ready to go. I can't quite get the KO on it, unfortunately, with a Gmax Rapid Flow, if that's an option to me, but I can certainly heavily damage it, and then maybe take this, you know, severely damaged Zacian off the board, or damage another one that might be incoming. They hit the Metal Saucer there, and a Max Elixir to follow. So yeah, there you go. Turbo Zacian for the win. But the nice thing here is they don't have any Bronzongs established, and I haven't seen a Zamazenta yet, so I'm not too worried. And now with the Jirachi on board, I know that at least I've got 5 prizes I can potentially take, and, you know, maybe with some combination of Acerola or Cyclone, I can reset to the Urshifu V and attack any potential Zamazenta there. And in fact, what I'm actually going to do here is, after I search my deck, I believe at this time, did I grab... Oh no, I just grabbed another Remoraid, okay, to get that out of the deck, okay. Thought at the time I grabbed the Passimian to get a little extra bench damage, but hey, there you go. So I'm going to bring up the Urshifu there. I'm actually just going to attach the strong energy to the benched Urshifu, again, preparing it for the potential Zamazenta showdown. And yeah, I'm just going to keep that as a V for now, discarding the VMAX off of the research. Just so that, again, like I have that option because the worst thing is wiping someone's board and then they just leave the lone Zamazenta V in the active and then you can't really do much. And I have to be mindful of the fact that KOing the Zamazenta V is not going to be easy either, because it can attack me and remove my special energies while I'm trying to hit in, right? And at best, I have to 2-hit KO it with a 3 energy attack, which is not ideal. So anyways, you know, I got off my big Gale Thrust there, so now my opponent's got 2 heavily damaged Zacians on the board, but they are both fully loaded, so I mean, hey, if they want to chase the attack, that's totally an option. They pitched the Cobalion off of a Quick Ball, and I was definitely thinking at the time, okay, they're going to drop the Zamazenta now and try to just make me fold. But they actually go for a Dedenne GX, so I guess just prioritizing getting a few more resources. And they do pitch quite a bit. I saw the VS Seekers going in there, which is always nice. It's always nice to try and out-resource someone, and obviously with them putting that Dedenne down, as long as they don't have like Acerola, their own Scoop Up Cyclones, you know, Super Scoop Up, anything like that, I know now I have 6 guaranteed prizes on the board, so I don't even necessarily need to sweat Zamazenta coming down. So they'll just switch into the Drachi, hit the escape board, great, they're just gonna dig for resources a little bit more, and then I'm sure they're gonna come in and hit with one of the Zacians, just, you know, accepting that they're gonna have to lose 1 eventually, right? But hey, you know, giving up 2 prizes to take 3 if they can manage it, it's not a bad trade either. And if they're smart, what they'll also do is try and set up maybe 1 more Zacian on the board, just so they potentially have another attack ready to go. And in fact, that's what they do. They throw down another Zacian, they'll go for the Max Elixir. I think this one they actually whiff, which is nice. They were doing pretty good before. And you know, the Drachi, they will just, you know, evacuate it here. They want to get the hit in because they don't know if I'm playing like additional Acerolas, Max Potions, anything like that. So they just want to get the damage on there and threaten the KO. But you know, for me, I'm not gonna sweat this too much. I have my Rapid Strike energy in hand. I know that outside of a Metal Saucer or another Max Elixir, they're not gonna be getting the follow-up attack. I'm fairly confident at this point. And again, with that, you know, the Dedenne and the Drachi on board now, I don't even have to worry necessarily too much if they take the Revenge KO here. So I'm just going to attach the energy. I decide to Max Potion even though I've got the strong energy on there, just to take the easy 3 prizes away from my opponent. And I am going to go for a gigantic G-Max Rapid Flow, earning me an angry face from my opponent. And I think pretty quickly after this, they realize there's not very far to go, and they scoop. And there we go. Urshifu VMAX putting the hurt on Pokemon Sword's big doggo. Now, Zacian V is certainly a nasty hitter, and with easy access to both Max Elixir and Metal Saucer and Expanded, it can threaten some KOs pretty easily. But thanks to Korrina and our many healing options, we could consistently deny the KO while setting up for a very punishing G-Max Rapid Flow. And you know, I have to say, I really enjoyed this deck's ability to pretty much always bail me out of a tricky situation. And I actually think you could tailor this toolbox to meet your specific needs if you happen to have, you know, a local expanded meta. For example, you could drop the Melony package and go all in on, you know, hitting fat Gale Thrusts, which is actually a pretty common approach to Urshifu in expanded as is. Or you could lean in more to Melony and take a super aggressive approach, trying to end the game in 3 G-Max Rapid Flows. Just obviously avoid bench barrier or have a way to deal with it. But you know, either way, there is a really solid core here, and I would encourage you all to take this list and tinker with it. And you know, do let me know what you come up with in the comments section below. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We're just shy of 500 subs at the time of recording, and I would really love to unlock that community tab just so we can keep the conversation flowing a little easier with you guys. So hey, help us get over that last little hurdle. And that'll wrap it up for this one. I will catch you all next time, and until then, take it easy.